Amici telespettatori, siamo pronti per far partire la puntata che verterà sul sesto round del Supermotocross americano, gara che si è svolta a Glendale e la commenteremo sempre con il nostro Michele Fanton.
Here in Glendale, Arizona for the 250 main. Nate Thrasher sidelined with a crash. He will not be in this one. His teammate and co-championship leader is, let's go, 250 main in Arizona. Oh, Levi Kitchen, what a beautiful start. And on the inside, it's the two guys who are tied for the championship lead, first and second.
Here we go, I love it. RJ Hampshire, he's in third as well. I love what I'm seeing right here. This is teed up to be a perfect race.
Levi Kitchen on that Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki, the Monster Energy Yamaha Star Racing bike of Jordan Smith, then RJ Hampshire, the Rockstar Energy Factory Husqvarna.
So easy to get caught in the hype right now, and the intensity of this race is points, championship, all three guys. But what they have to remember is find your rhythm, find your groove. You got 15 minutes plus one lap here. A lot of racing ahead of us in store. This track is going to change a lot. Oh man,
Levi Kitchen had a fall earlier today in qualifying practice, but he sat on the edge of the track.
Right.
He wasn't phased by it. He kind of dusted himself off and dusted his grips off, and then reset and went again. Did not phase him at all. Jordan Smith also had a tip over. Got up, kept going, didn't phase him, and look at these two guys, the co-championship leaders. Somebody's going to come away out in front tonight with the sole plate, the rib plate, solely in their possession.
This is almost a meeting of the minds here tonight with all these guys lined up, 1, 2, 3. What I mean by that is which guy can execute and not make the big mistake. Which guy can stay focused to the game plan. Hit every lap, do the best that you can. That's what I want to see from these riders.
Here we go, here comes Smith. This is for the lead of the race.
Here it
is
goes.
He close enough? You betcha he is. Jordan Smith to the front with authority.
Great pass by Jordan Smith. Got a good run through the whoops. He's able to make the pass beyond the inside of...
And Kitchen comes back and returns the favor over that 60-foot jump. The Kawasaki man's back out in front. Smith's not done with. Put Hampshire in the mix as well.
We talked about these rhythm lanes being really long and it can be single file. So timing is going to be key through here. They have to make sure their timing is precise. It is. Watch these whoop sections right here.
All right, so
Jordan Smith extremely fast in the whoops.
Kitchen knows that Smith's going to have a go. So what do you do here? If you're Jordan Smith, do you go for it one more time? Looks like he wants to because he knows Hampshire's right with him.
Yeah, of course. That was good heads-up riding by Levi Kitchen when he got past the first time by Jordan Smith. He checked up, put the bike up. Smith go by. Here you go.
Here we go. Rip through there. Over the finish jump. Kitchen's got the inside line, but Smith says, no way, I'm making sure of it this time.
That was a close call by Levi Kitchen. His feet came off the foot pegs in the whoops. He was able to hold on to it. Oh, then he overjumps that triple combination in the rhythm section.
The top three in the championship are the three bikes you see. And RJ Hampshire starting to turn up the heat on Levi Kitchen. Look at that switchback. Beautiful riding, RJ Hampshire.
There's a pressure. You got to wonder, is the pressure, championship pressure getting to Levi Kitchen right now. He's got the best two guys in the series right now going at him. How is he going to respond? Maybe right now he takes a step back, says, okay, a lot of action happening right now. A lot of racing left to go. Will.
Ricky, my head's going to just sing these two veterans ahead of Levi Kitchen. I think a lot of expectation is on the 47, but actually prior to this year, he only had one full year of Supercross under his belt. How did he do in that? Well, 4 podiums, including a win. One of those podiums came at a Triple Crown in Glendale. So really, I think this expectation that we have that I think he shares of himself, perhaps in a little way is a bit unfair when you see the amount of race experience is ahead of him right now.
Yeah, there is a lot of race experience ahead of Levi Kitchen right now. And I tell you, man, this is so much fun to watch. There's Joe.
Joe Shimoda, he was back kind of 7th, 8th on the opening lap. Now starting to make his way forward. That's Carson Mumford on the Moto Concepts Honda up ahead.
What a ride by Mumford. Had a great race in his heat race earlier tonight. Then backing it up with another great ride. Like I talked about in that heat race, this is a great building race for Carson Mumford. So much expectation. Had a great amateur career and had a rough go at it when he turned professional. Now he's been given a great opportunity aboard this Smart Top
Moto Concept Honda. Here comes Shimoda. Look behind Shimoda though. Robbie Wageman is running because he's able to leapfrog his way in the championship standings, back by race leader RJ Hampshire to sit second and just 4 points adrift of Levi Kitchen.
That was a big pass, to your point, Lee, especially for championship implications and points. I think when Jordan Smith looks back at this race, he's going to beat himself up for that crash that he had. The same exact crash in practice, and that's really what put him in the position to crash again behind Levi Kitchen. Had he not been in that position, I believe he would he'd be in the number 2 spot right now.
Kitchen's been running some good laps. He's been able to close that gap somewhat to race leader RJ Hampshire as we check in with Will Christian. Will?
Ricky, I was just listening to what you said about how Jordan Smith might react to this weekend. I've spent a lot of time talking to him, obviously, and speaking with team members, and he's incredibly even keel about stuff. And I said, look, is that just what we see, or do you guys see that too? And team manager there, Jensen Hendler, told me, no, that's exactly how he is. He rarely kind of wavers between extremes of moods and stuff. So when mistakes happen on track, things happen like they did, you know, the last time we saw him out there at Anaheim. He said he's a veteran, he knows what to do, and you don't see much emotion out of him. He just gets on with the job. They deal with any technicalities that they need to change, and aside from that, he said Jordan just goes at it the same as he does every other day.
Garrett Marchbanks on the FXR Markov Club MX Yamaha on the inside. Move made. So Marchbanks has gone from 10th to 5th and is storming his way up through this field.
A lot of passes being made up on the inside of the first whoop section because it sets him up so well in that right-handed 180 turn to make the move. Great pass by Garrett Marchbanks.
So it's been an incredibly inconsistent season for this man here, RJ Hampshire. He starts the season with a win at Anaheim 1. Round 2, 9th. Round 3, 6th. The most recent round, he finished 2nd. So he's going to get another win if he stays where he is in 90 seconds plus a lap time, which would be the first time he's had multiple wins in a season. This could be the pivotal round for RJ Hampshire in his quest to be a 250 West Monster Energy AMA champion.
Well, he's cruising right now, riding phenomenally. I mean, this had so much poise, especially at the beginning with Levi Kitchen and Jordan Smith in front of him. He's just waiting, and boom, gets by these guys, and now he's just clicking off laps, and he doesn't even look like he's trying. No. Obviously he is, and
he's got plenty of time, right?
It's races like these that are so much fun, and rarely do they happen as a racer. So hopefully he's enjoying it as much as we are watching him race, and love to see how well he's riding right now when it counts.
The 28-year-old from Florida in control, and no immediate pressure. To Ricky's point, this is a lovely situation. Just cruising up front. You know you're going to capitalize where the guys who were tied for the championship, you've got past them, you've cleared them, they're out of the way. And you just look thinking about that checkered flag, maximum points, and a break. A break in the schedule. As we click into East Coast mode again. Do you know, RJ Hampshire has led 3 main events this year prior to tonight with only 1 win. Now, this is going to feel like a little bit of redemption. This is going to feel satisfying and get his championship back, his championship focus back on track.
He could have ended this race a little bit quicker and got his second win of the season had he slowed up 1 second slower.
No.
He passed the finish line with 1 second remaining on the play clock.
On a very long lap.
Right, on a very long lap. So, but I'm confident he's going to get this job done. You see the leader light on the forks right there, that green light signifying he's the race leader. I love that leader light.
Meanwhile, Joe Shimoda back in third. The Japanese rider for HRC Honda is looking at his first podium of the 2024 season behind Levi Kitchen, who will leave here championship leader. There's the white flag. One more lap to go for RJ Hampshire and the Rockstar Energy Factory Husqvarna. Looking good. Back to Jordan Smith, fourth in Marchbanks, Oldenburg, Beaumare. Phil Nicoletti headed for a top 10. Robbie Wageman in ninth and Hunter Yoda in the top 10. Great track, awesome night, great crowd, but it's been eventful.
Oh, yeah. It's been a lot of action. And you just have to think, you know, because of these rhythm lanes being so long, the speeds they're carrying, you know, the chances of something going wrong is much greater because of that, all of those elements.
So, Jet Lawrence became the first 450 two-time winner this year. And in the 250 West Championship, it has been a different winner. So it was the same in the 450s. Jet changed that. RJ Hampshire is about to change that statistic here. One last time through the woods. RJ Hampshire wins in Glendale, Arizona, to become the first multi-time winner in the 2024 250 West Championship. Levi Kitchen gets second. Joe Shimoda gets his first podium of the year. And coming in, tied on points, Jordan Smith will get fourth in a race that saw him fall twice. And he looks up thinking, oh boy. Turn one, the left-hander to get the whole shot and try and take off. What's the cowboy got here in the desert? Ready to go, 450 main in Arizona. Let's have a go. Good start, Roxon. Who's going to duck up the inside, though? It's going to be Kenny hanging tough. Justin Cooper's in the mix.
Oh, what a start by Kenny. Straight up the inside like the veteran that he is. These guys better turn it loose right now because the 94 has been on rails all day.
Plessing is there, so too is Anderson. Aboard the 21, the Monster Energy Kawasaki.
And there's Eli Tomac right behind as well. This would be massive for Eli Tomac and Jason Anderson from a championship points perspective.
Vince Freezy's up there. Another good start from Vince. He runs fourth. But the two heat winners are running first and second. Roxon and Plessinger both spoke about how good they feel on this track, how much they're enjoying their bikes on this track. And they're ready for a main event victory. Oh, what happened? This is Jet Lawrence on the 18. Cooper Webb. Watch this.
Look at Cooper Webb comes out of that corner, uses up all of the track on Jet Lawrence. Make no mistake about it, this is championship time right there, and that was a championship move. Just uses up, doesn't make any contact really, and uses up all the track, and that's what you have to do in this 450 class. These guys battling right now, man. This has the makings to be a big night for the 21, the 3, and the 94.
Indianapolis last year was the last win for Ken Roxon.
Kenny always so explosive and has a lot of intensity early on in these races. He just rides so hard and is able to build a gap sometimes, JT, and that's what he relies on, but these guys are keeping him close.
Well, and you nailed it. They are holding pace right now, and that's what Kenny wants to do. He wants to get gone and build a gap and be able to manage it from there. These guys know that. Aaron Plessinger is going to sprint all out, and remember San Diego, it's the same.
Down
and
goes Plessinger.
Yeah, you can see right there where the track is very shiny. It's slippery right there, and that's the area where you're really relying on lateral grip of your tires and leaning over to set up for corner entry to get a good run through there and use your momentum. And man, that caught him off guard. I hate that for Aaron Plessinger. He was in the perfect spot, all over, pressuring Ken Roczen, and down it goes.
Takes some of the pressure off Kickstart Kenny. He's now got more than 2 seconds. This is what happened to the Red Bull KTM rider. Have a look.
Remember, we talked about right there where it's shiny. Boom, and that's where he's leaning at the same time, and just total confidence in his bike, and the traction gave way.
So there's Benny Bloss on the beta as Plessinger plays catch up. I mentioned Indianapolis last year as the last time Ken Roczen won a Monster Energy AMA Supercross main. It was one of the best rides of his career. He loved that night for so many different reasons, and he is in the mode tonight.
I'm going to tell you right now, Ken Roczen is so incredibly well with, let's hear, with Plessinger going down, it gives Kenny that gap right here. And when Kenny get a gap most of the time, and a person there and a rider out here that's going to catch him. So it's going to be interesting to see what these guys can do. If Anderson can find another gear, he likes to hang it out and is willing to push that edge. If he can do that in this situation, this would be huge.
It's been even longer as we go back to the battle of the brothers. Hunter Lawrence over younger brother Jet. This is further back. This is in 5th and 6th place. Cooper Webb running 4th behind his Monster Energy Yamaha Star Racing teammate. Here goes Jet Lawrence right alongside his brother. Outside line, high line, and gets it.
His brother was nice to him. He could have put him up over the tough blocks there, but you would expect that, and their teammates as well. And Jet looking like he's riding some urgency here. We haven't been able to see this kind of riding from Jet because of the two mud races, so this is going to be fun to watch.
How does he race Cooper
That's
Webb,
right.
given what happened earlier in the race, where Webb used up all the track and Lawrence had to go
Look
off
at
track. Here we go.
different rhythms through here.
This is that part where they go through 16 different jumps, and it is so long. Lawrence lost a little bit of ground to Webb there. Oh, and comes up short.
That was massively short. He did that in his heat race as well. Not sure what's happening. That's the second time he's done that. He's going to lose some time. Lucky for him, he didn't hurt himself by doing that, jam his wrist or ankles.
How about this, RC? The top 4 in this race have not won a main this year. Remember, Webb won the Triple Crown overall, but the top 4 guys have not won a main. This is Cooper Webb working on Vince Freezy.
Right up there, boom, knocks Freezy up the racetrack. He gets stuck in between.
And this is Jet Lawrence coming up short.
Oh, whoa, what a save.
That could have been really nasty.
Yeah, I don't expect that Jet's going to do anything here. He'll get by pretty clean, I would think. Cooper Webb, a really tough guy to get by, and the reason that is his instincts and the senses that he has. He's very good at detecting where a guy's going to get by him.
Jet Lawrence switches the line, goes to the inside, and makes easy work of that on Cooper Webb.
Holds him up there, pauses in the center of the corner to not give an opportunity for the two to get back by. Hunter
Lawrence follows his brother. Webb tried to come back, but couldn't. So the Honda HRC men find themselves in 4th and 5th, out chasing after Eli Tomac, Jason Anderson, who's now 3 seconds adrift of Ken Roczen. This is looking very much like Kickstart Kenny's night. Long way to go, though. 13 minutes plus a lap.
Oh, great job by Dylan Ferrandis coming up. This is a great ride for him. Right up the inside, man. Cooper Webb losing some positions. This is the 3rd position he's lost in just 1 lap.
Ferrandis goes past the bike that he was once on. Now aboard the Phoenix Honda, he finds himself up there in 6th place behind fellow Honda riders and practice track training mates, the Lawrence brothers.
Talk about Kenny Roczen, the bottom of your screen right here, and how this track is starting to get a bit drier, harder, and slippery. Ken is a very precise rider, and he has really good throttle control. So when these conditions get hard packed like this, and you have to manipulate the throttle to get good connectivity with that rear tire, putting the power to the ground, this is areas where Kenny shines.
However, that lead kind of spans and contracts to around 2.5, 3 seconds. Keeps going back and forth. Here comes Chase Sexton in the top box. Check this out. Points leader coming into this race, reigning series champ. He's riding injured with that left hand that he damaged earlier in the week at the practice track. So he'll get a break next weekend, which is so important for his recovery. But this is good. Riding hurt, but still riding well in the top 10 in 8 is Chase Sexton.
Yeah, not sure what happened to Cooper Webb, because he was moving up the field, and now he's starting to go backwards. Maybe he has a case of arm pump, like his teammate Eli Tomac did last weekend. Oh, watch this pass.
Inside for Sexton, and another one goes by Cooper Webb. Let's talk more about the Yamaha rider with JT.
Well, it's a little surprising to see Cooper Webb work backwards here, but maybe it shouldn't be. His average finish over the course of his career in Glendale is a 7th place, and he's never finished on the podium. Even in his championship years, he did not podium here in Glendale.
Somebody who is used to being on the podium is his Monster Energy Yamaha Star Racing teammate Eli Tomac, who is using tonight as a rebound round from last week in Detroit, where he went from 3rd to 10th. He's now solidly in 3rd and staying there as we fast approach the halfway mark.
Yeah, a lot of people asking, what is so different about this series, and why is it the most competitive points battle that we've seen in decades? Well, it's because of the parity in this class and just how many guys have been able, knock on wood, to stay healthy so far. Will?
Guys, Eli Tomac, this is considered by him as a home race. I asked him today, is this home race or is Denver? Because he is from Cortez, Colorado. And he said, well, both of them really, because this actually geographically is a little bit sort of close as far as the drive goes. He said, my whole sort of childhood was coming down here and racing during the winter. Too cold up in Colorado there, so his dad would bring him down to Arizona. And you can hear it. You should have heard the crowd during opening ceremonies. We know Aaron Plessinger gets a lot of love. It was extremely loud down here when Eli Tomac came out. He has about 30 family.
It's been a little bit difficult for some. We've seen a couple of red flags earlier tonight, but so far so good here in the 450 main, and it has just been excellent for Ken Roczen. Going back to this pursuit of Jet Lawrence and Eli Tomac. Remember, Tomac, who was sidelined last year with Achilles injury, and then he did not watch the first part of the Pro Motocross Championship. He said at the point where the guy who's chasing him got to 12 consecutive wins, he said, I'm going to start studying this kid and watching what he's all about. Well, Eli, you're going to get some up close and personal here in a second if Jet Lawrence continues this pace.
Well, and Eli also said he didn't want to retire because he wasn't satisfied. He didn't want to end on that note. And this is a great rebound from last weekend. This is it's going to be a good learning race too for Jet Lawrence. I mean, he's not moving up and making a whole lot of time up on the guys in front of him. Really, yes, he has gained on Tomac, but Tomac has been able to keep a few bike length gap there on Jet.
Closer and closer. This is the fight for the final step on the podium for 3rd. This is the race that Tomac needed to rebound from that frustration in Detroit with the arm pump that sent him just uncharacteristically plummeting backwards through the top 10. Here we go. Lawrence has got a little bit of a run here on the 2-time champ. The longest rhythm section on this Glendale track. 5:25 left on the clock.
Oh, those whoops getting really slippery and hard on the faces of them. So when that rear tire hits the face of the whoop, that tire's spinning. These guys gonna have to really do their best to get good drive through there. The bike's going sideways. It's because the wheel's spinning on top of those whoops.
Think about what a thrill this is for young Jet Lawrence to be racing somebody an icon of the sport like Eli Tomac. But right now, he's just another competitor. He's just another bike and another rider out there that he's got to get by for a podium spot.
These guys, as he moves up the field, so much harder to get by these guys.
Looks at the inside line. Jet Lawrence on Eli Tomac, and he's got it. That's for third.
There he goes. Made the pass. That was a really nice pass. Up the inside, right there in that first corner. Eli moved out to the outside, couldn't grab that inside line like Jet did.
4 minutes left on the clock, plus a lap. And the updated championship points see Jet Lawrence, with that move, extend it to 4. 4 points at the moment. Positions as they run. JT, what you got?
Ricky, do you think there's any chance that Eli just kind of moved over to try to figure out where Jet was making up time? He didn't really fight for position there, and sometimes when you just can't figure out the line, clearly Jet is making up time somewhere. Do you think that could have been playing into Eli there?
Yeah, without a doubt. It's one of two things. I believe it's either exactly what you said, JT, or he could be fighting a little bit of arm pump, because he was definitely better and showing better speed early on in this race.
Up front, Ken Roczen, 6 seconds to the good over Jason Anderson. Here he is. Kenny won at this facility in 2016. 4 years later, he swept the Triple Crown to win the overall. 4 years later, here we are. At 4-year intervals, Roczen could do it again.
This would be huge. He said in the offseason he wanted to win a couple more wins throughout the year. Probably going to get that done here tonight. More on the way as the season continues. It's a much better spot coming into this year because he's got a year under his belt on this race team.
Let's just remind you how extraordinary this season has been. Jet Lawrence creates history by winning at his first attempt at A1 in the 450 class. Sexton then goes on and wins the Mudder in San Francisco. The Cowboy Plessinger wins in the wet conditions in San Diego. A2, Cooper Webb doesn't win a race, but he wins the overall. Come to Jet Lawrence in Detroit, becomes the first multi-time winner of the season. And here we are here on just 2 minutes plus a lap away from Ken Roczen becoming the 4th different winner in 5, actually 5 in 6, pardon me.
Yeah, just an incredible season, like what everyone's been talking about, and it's been the buzz within the industry, just how special it's been. It's amazing when all these guys are able to keep it up on 2 wheels. Oh, this would be a big pass if Cooper Webb was able to reel back Sexton in. Great ride by Chase Sexton, being injured, wasn't sure if he was even going to race. So talking about looking at the big picture, this is one of those nights for Chase Sexton where, hey, maybe you don't have maybe you don't have what it takes to win. He almost slid out there. So you go big picture. This is one of those nights. Just let the race come to you and do the best that you can.
Championship damage control, and he's going to have a fight all the way to the end with Cooper Webb. By the way, speaking of Webb, if Roczen wins, it'll tie him for 10th all-time with Cooper Webb, who we're watching on screen right now, with 22 career wins. Here we go, starting to turn up the heat a little bit here. Cooper Webb on the champ, Chase Sexton.
On the inside. Oh,
yes! Gets it done, passes the man, the team that he used to ride for.
There you go. Watch that inside line there. A lot of passes being going there. Where Chase Sexton was going, I think Cooper has this pass locked in.
Here comes Malcolm Stewart.
It's going to be a big pass as far as points go. Every point adding up. Well, that's especially with as tight as it is.
That's given another point back to Lawrence to make that lead 5, make it 6 now with Malcolm Stewart going past Chase Sexton. So they're helping Jet Lawrence out. Time almost up on the clock. Where is Roczen in relation to the finish?
Yeah, he's going to come back next time by, and it's going to be the last lap.
He was
There you go.
so positive. He was beaming when he spoke with Will after his heat win earlier tonight. Big smile, said let's just do it again when it counts for the main. And he is. Through this set of whoops here, this is coming up to the finish jump. White flag is out. One more to go for Ken Roczen. This is going to be big. This is going to be huge.
Yeah, man.
The crowd are loving it. They are loving it. Kenny's on his way home.
What a ride by Ken. You knew, like we talked about it earlier in the heat race, of how his results have been on paper really wasn't a true reflection of how well he's been doing all season long.
They know what they're seeing. Remember just the season, off-season before this past one, when Roczen announced he was going to the Progressive X-Star HEP Suzuki team. People maybe questioned that a little bit. Can he put him back in the winner's circle in Indianapolis? It would be the second win for this organization with Kenny aboard.
He's
fantastic. He's nodding his head already saying, yeah, this feels good. Ken Roczen, the 29-year-old German who has called America home for so long, the father of two. Kickstart Kenny wins in Arizona. He's done it again. Jason Anderson with a fine second.
Yes.
And Jed Lawrence had to work hard for that third. He extends his championship lead. So he was behind one. He's back with the red plate and extends.
E salutiamo immediatamente Michele Fanton. Ciao Michele, siamo in
Ciao
forma?
Adriano,
Siamo
ciao a tutti
carichi?
i nostri telespettatori.
Siamo in carica?
Siamo sempre in carica, quando vediamo queste gare qua ci caricano
Mamma mia. Stasera commenteremo il sesto round del Supermotocross che si è svolto a Glendale in Arizona, con delle gare fantastiche sia in 450 che in 250. Ma partiamo subito, Michele, a parlare della 450, dove anche le nostre previsioni si sono avverate con un Ken Roczen veramente incredibile.
Eh sì, un Ken Roczen strepitoso, strepitoso perché più di qualche volta tu l'hai sempre menzionato come pilota che stilisticamente è quello che veramente sta dimostrando come si guida una moto da cross in un supercross. E ancora più di una volta anche in questa gara incredibilmente ha dimostrato il suo valore, soprattutto con una moto, ricordiamolo sempre, il fatto che diciamo che è un progetto vecchio di qualche anno, eppure vince ancora le gare. Per
Con
cui,
un'evoluzione, chiaramente, qualche aiuto l'avrà, però il team, il Progressive, è veramente al top e sta preparando queste moto anche per Melkerrat veramente competitive. Ha fatto una partenza fulmine e ha condotto praticamente tutta la gara con un Jason Anderson dietro ad inseguire, ma senza avere quello spunto per poterlo riprendere e battagliare più da vicino.
sì, no, beh, ma diciamo che Rozen ha fatto una partenza fantastica perché in fondo alla prima curva non era tra i primi, però ha
Sì.
chiuso la corda proprio all'interno ed è uscito praticamente nel slancio del primo salto che
Sì.
praticamente è uscito primo. E da lì non ha più visto nessuno perché ha iniziato ad imprimere un ritmo insostenibile per tutti. Come hai detto tu, Anderson ha cercato nei primi giri di avvicinarsi, però Rozen ha tenuto duro, ha fatto sempre le sue linee perfette, non ha commesso errori nel modo più assoluto
Sì.
ed è arrivato in fondo alla gara veramente tranquillo
Facendo anche giri veloci, chiaramente poi superato sul giro veloce magari da Jet Lawrence e così. Però pista tecnica da una parte, velocissima e con una sezione poi nel mezzo veramente importante dove abbiamo visto qualche pilota in difficoltà come Jet Lawrence che arriva corto sul salto.
Eh sì, Trevor Lawrence, adesso non ricordo se è il terzo o il quarto giro che stava recuperando, ha fatto veramente un corto in un triplo che non
Gli è
si sa come
andata
sia riuscito a
bene,
tenere in
gli è
piedi.
andata, gli è andata veramente
Più che
bene,
bene,
perché lì c'era anche da farsi del male. Come
assolutamente.
ripeto, una pista dove la televisione non rende merito ai canali e alla devastazione che i 450 fanno chiaramente durante la gara, con cambi di linee importanti e insomma, ci vuole tanto pelo per guidare a quel livello.
Assolutamente, anche perché sai meglio di me che comunque giro dopo giro la pista continua a
Ah,
cambiare, continua a riempirsi di canaloni sempre più impegnativi e sempre più difficili e poi c'era quella serie di tripli pazzesca perché
bravo.
dovevi prendere misure millimetriche per riuscire poi a riflettere un altro triplo, un altro triplo, un altro triplo ancora, per cui tanto di cappello a questi ragazzi perché dal primo all'ultimo giro non hanno sbagliato un colpo e
Eh
alla
sì.
fine la tecnica fa sempre da padrone.
Per fortuna gravi cadute non ce ne sono state, per cui qualche disagio per qualche pilota c'è stato, però è stato tutto risolvibile. Jet Lawrence parte maluccio, commette qualche errore, comunque recupera e abbiamo visto un pochettino la battaglia che noi pensavamo ci fosse fin dall'inizio tra lui e Eli Tomac, perché Jet
Sì.
Lawrence quando è riuscito ad arrivare ad Eli è riuscito in un attimo sulla serie di Oops a una velocità supersonica a passarlo.
Ah, sì, Bertolone è sempre detto male, come hai detto tu, ha fatto qualche rischio, perché anche nel primo passaggio si era toccato con Sexton
Sì.
in un posto dove c'era la sabbia, che è uscito addirittura di pista, per cui anche lì è stato in piedi. Poi abbiamo ribadito prima che ha fatto quel numero sul triplo quasi da cinema, e però fortunatamente non è caduto. Ha rimontato, è arrivato a ridosso di Toma, come hai detto tu, però abbastanza agevolmente l'ha superato senza un contatto
Sì,
fisico e senza dei sorpassi così un po' rudi e ha fatto un bel terzo posto. Comunque quinta
anche
classifica è
vero.
importante.
Anche perché abbiamo saputo da notizie ufficiali e semi-ufficiali i problemi che ha avuto Tomac nelle gare precedenti. Arm pump, cioè indurimento degli avambracci, è un problema all'ammortizzatore posteriore.
Eh sì, infatti doveva esserci un fattore tecnico della moto perché vedere Toma che indietreggiare così non è da lui, per cui
Sì.
sicuramente, come hai detto tu, hai ribadito, è fatto bene. C'era stato un
Bisognerà
problema.
vedere come riesce ad assorbire questa pressione. Abbiamo visto sempre Tomac nelle prime gare di stagione non essere, nelle stagioni precedenti, non essere mai super competitivo. Il beast mode avviene sempre verso la metà del campionato, mancano ancora 11 gare, per cui c'è ancora tanto da fare e da dire da questi piloti. Come ripeto, come ci dicevamo prima fuori onda, ci sono 6 piloti nell'arco di 17 punti, per cui è tutto da giocare. Hunter
Esatto.
Lawrence,
Hunter Lawrence
che
finalmente
si è ripreso.
lo ritroviamo lì tra i primi,
Eh
finalmente,
sì, per
finalmente.
cui quinto posto buono per lui. Dylan Ferrandis, un altro che mi stupisce e gli auguro ogni bene perché arriva sesto, ripeto, con una moto non ufficiale ma ben preparata. Una guida da campione, insomma, quale che è.
Assolutamente, sappiamo le doti, le capacità di Dylan e quest'anno ha scommesso su se stesso e diciamo che la scommessa pian pianino la sta vincendo perché comunque gara
Eh
dopo
sì.
gara è sempre lì ridosso dei primi, ma sono convinto che ci offrirà un bel guizzo e anche una gara sul podio, sono sicuro.
Sì, 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 sicuramente. Chiaramente è una grande botta di morale per lui perché è sempre lì, è sempre nei 10 e sfiora la top 5 ogni volta, per cui grande Dylan. Dylan. Cooper Webb, un altro che mi sembra un po' attaccato alla moto. Vedo le Yamaha comunque, ripeto, dalla mia piccola esperienza, non a posto. Non so
Eh,
se hai questa sensazione, perché è
sicuramente.
possibile che due piloti hanno bene o male sempre lo stesso trend di gara in gara.
Sì, giustamente hai ribadito un concetto giusto sul fatto che all'inizio abbiamo visto che le moto sembravano quasi già, diciamo, quasi al 100% perché i risultati avevano
Eh sì,
dimostrato questo. Poi adesso in questa fase del campionato vediamo che questi piloti sappiamo la loro taratura e la loro velocità non esprimere quello che è le loro capacità e questo credo sia dovuto da un non certo setting perfetto che gli aiuta comunque a lottare per stare lì con i più forti e aggiudicarsi di podi. Comunque, ribadiamo, come hai detto tu, la stagione è ancora lunghissima, il campionato
può
è
succedere di tutto proprio.
può succedere di tutto, per cui niente, stiamo lì a vedere e credo che comunque dal lato della sua esperienza Cooper Weber ci farà vedere ancora delle gran bellissime gare.
Sì, campionato apertissimo proprio, per cui questi piloti lotteranno fino alla fine, sperando che rimangano fuori dai guai. Un pochettino parlando di Chase Sexton, che ha avuto l'infortunio, ha avuto dei problemi in gara, ha fatto chiaramente poi da gambero cercando di finire nella top 10 arrivando nono e non perdendo tantissimi punti in campionato. Come l'hai visto?
Ma, diciamo che un po' è fatto il riassunto tu, diciamo che Sexton questo risultato ha cercato solo di portarlo a casa perdendo il meno possibile perché comunque come hai detto tu c'è stato un infortunio in settimana, e addirittura era anche lì in forza di
Di
partecipare, per
correre.
cui
Mm.
dobbiamo dargli atto che comunque il suo impegno è sempre al massimo, focalizzato sul campionato, per cui ha cercato di fare quello che poteva e l'ha fatto egregiamente perché un nuovo posto a questo livello non è da tutti.
Sì, anche perché
Quindi,
rimane al secondo posto del campionato a 6 punti da Jet Lawrence, per cui, come ripeto, i primi 6 piloti se la giocano tutto, se lo giocano tutto questo campionato e ne vedremo sicuramente delle belle. Parlare di Plessinger, anzi Plessinger, che è meglio, l'ho visto chiaramente in difficoltà, qualche errore anche per lui, pensavo di vederlo lì davanti.
ma
Partenze un pochettino così.
quello che posso aver visto io è il fatto che comunque nella hit ha fatto una bella hit e ha
Certo,
lottato con i primi con gran velocità e mi aspettavo che comunque nella finale, se partiva bene, avrebbe fatto una bella gara.
sì.
E sai, a sensazione, perché poi dopo due giri non contano nulla, credo che Plessinger avesse la velocità e anche la tecnica per magari, non lo so, fino a che punto poter rompere, tra parentesi, un po'
Il,
le uova nel
il
paniere alla
paniere.
Lawson, perché prima di cadere era
Eh sì.
secondo e stava tirando forte. Dopo, sai, tutto si può dire con i mai se non si fa niente, però
Ah
alla
sì.
fine poi rimontato ha fatto un decimo posto. Sono sempre anche questi punti importanti per la classifica perché attualmente è terzo e comunque è bravo.
Eh sì, sicuramente è un pilota che merita e appena giusta, appunto, un pochettino questa sua velocità, anche perché anche nelle prove è sempre stato velocissimo, interpreta molto bene i circuiti e chiaramente KTM lo assiste nel migliore dei modi. Eh. Allora, vediamo un pochettino di chi parlare. Sulla 450 io farei il riassunto di quello che è il campionato con un Jet Lawrence a 117 punti in prima posizione, un Chase Sexton a 111, un Aaron Plessinger a 108, un Cooper Webb a 107, Jason Anderson a 106 e un Ken Roczen a 102 con Eli Tomac settimo a 100. Per cui il campionato con 11 gare può stravolgersi e magari vedere qualche sorpresa tra i protagonisti. Sicuramente vedremo un colpo di orgoglio da parte di Lai Tomac, che sicuramente non è contentissimo di questa situazione, come non è contento Cooper Webb. Yamaha dovrebbe dare una mano in più ai propri piloti, anche perché sia uno che l'altro durante le interviste dicono sì, non siamo a postissimo, il problema è che dopo pochi giri soffriamo e non siamo a un livello di comfort sulla moto che ci possa permettere di spingere fino alla fine. Queste sono le loro parole, per cui fidiamoci di loro e sicuramente li vedremo protagonisti. Passiamo alla 250. 250 dove rivediamo RJ Hampshire, vincitore meritatamente con una gara fatta al di sopra di ogni sospetto.
Eh sì, però
Co-
dobbiamo ricordare che c'è stato Thrasher che ha fatto un brutto botto nelle
sì,
di
vero.
qualifica e ha rischiato veramente di brutto, però comunque dai, non è successo niente di grave, però purtroppo non ha corso la finale.
Eh sì,
E
anche perché
dopo,
quelle botte lì le senti subito
sì,
e non
sì,
riesci più a muoverti, eh.
ma ha fatto veramente una brutta caduta. E poi c'è stata la bella battaglia tra Kitchen e Smith nei primi giri che si sono veramente alternati il
Sì,
posto. E quando sembrava che appunto Smith avesse trovato il bando della
la
matassa,
quadra, eh sì.
ha fatto una scivolata, è retrocesso in terza posizione, poi per riattaccare di nuovo Kitchen in una sezione dove c'era bandierina gialla ha fatto un'altra botta dove ha
Eh
rischiato.
sì, brutta anche quella, molto molto brutta, anche perché questo hanno detto che c'è stata una malinterpretazione dei due piloti sulle luci gialle che erano accese per una caduta probabilmente precedente, o gialla o arancione hanno detto, per cui forse c'è stato un momento di sbando dei due piloti per cui si volevano togliere dal problema e è andata come è andata. Chi è che ne ha beneficiato? Yoshimoda.
Lo Shimoda, come hai detto tu, quest'anno che era partito tra dei protagonisti per il nuovo accasamento in Honda KC, parte sempre male, non
Eh
riesce a
sì.
partire tra i primi, rimonta e ne ha beneficiato appunto, diciamo, dell'accaduto su Smith, finendo a podio, finendo a un bel terzo posto. Però, come hai detto tu e ribadito, bisognerebbe vederlo lì costantemente di primo.
Eh sì, anche perché poi Hampshire, il Levi Kitchen, che è arrivato secondo ed è in testa al campionato, è sempre super competitivo, ma quello che vedo in Shimoda è quella mancanza di quella che ha fatto vedere nelle ultime gare dell'anno scorso, laddove negli ultimi 10 minuti, 8 minuti riusciva a recuperare a velocità stratosferica. Adesso chiaramente il livello si è alzato quando vediamo un Hampshire in sella allo Squarna che guida in questo modo, un Levi Kitchen che ha voglia di spaccare tutto, un po' come farà sicuramente Hayden Deegan nell'altra costa. Ne vedremo veramente delle belle dove inizieranno, penso, a sportierarsi a ogni curva.
Ah, quello è indubbio anche perché ognuno di loro ha il loro obiettivo di vincere, per cui dove trovano qualcuno che è davanti a loro vedono nero.
Eh sì, per cui facciamo un riepilogo del main event della 250, RJ Hampshire primo, Levi Kitchen secondo, Joe Shimoda terzo, Gordon Smith quarto, Garrett Marchbanks quinto, che insomma sta recuperando e sta iniziando ad acquisire una velocità che lo possa portare sempre nei primi cinque. Mitchell Oldenburg sesto e questo rookie, tra virgolette, settimo, Julien Baumer, che è un pilota che sta dimostrando grande velocità e sta mettendo un po' di pepe sulla coda a tutti gli altri.
Ah sì, è un ragazzino giovane, diciamo che è un rookie della stagione, per cui adesso nel proseguo della stagione sicuramente maturerà sempre di più, acquisirà sempre più esperienza e magari chissà che prima della fine della stagione non lo vediamo anche sul podio.
Ma staremo a vedere perché è bello vedere anche questi cambiamenti con questi nuovi giovani che vogliono dimostrare di essere già pronti per fare un campionato da protagonisti. Poi c'è il mio preferito, Phil Nicoletti, cioè è un mito,
Eh sì.
ottavo posto, chiaramente non più giovanissimo, una grandissima esperienza e uno che non molla mai, simpaticissimo, lo si vede nelle interviste, così, è un simpatico alla Plessinger, insomma.
Ah, sì.
Questi due mi esaltano quando li sento parlare e rilasciano le interviste. Facciamo riepilogo del campionato? Ma
Bravo.
certo che sì. Levi Kitchen 106 punti, Gordon Smith 102, per cui 4 punti di differenza tra i primi due, pochissimi. RJ Hampshire a 101, per cui anche lui è vicinissimo a 5 punti dalla vetta. Garrett Marchbanks quarto, Josh Moda quinto a 74 punti, per cui deve darsi molto da fare. Ripetiamo che le gare sono ancora tante e sicuramente lo vedremo protagonista. Dopodiché c'è Mitchell Oldenburg, Anthony Bourdon, francese, che è arrivato appunto al Supercross americano, dimostrando velocità, costanza, insomma, e nei 10. Staremo a vedere un pochettino che cosa succede nella prossima gara, che sarà la settima, e saremo a 10 gare dalla fine del campionato. Cosa vogliamo aggiungere? Campionato Supermotocross americano, denso di emozioni, di adrenalina, coperto benissimo televisivamente. Cosa dire? E noi abbiamo la possibilità, come avete visto, di mandare in onda le gare sia della 450 che della 250. Per cui in motocross My Passion c'è.
Eh sì.
Eh,
Sempre attivo.
Sempre, mai, non ci si deve mai fermare, e cerchiamo sempre di trovare nuove collaborazioni direttamente con gli organizzatori. Gli organizzatori, per fortuna, mi stanno dando fiducia personalmente e televisivamente, per cui cosa dire, ringrazio anche ehm, Infront con David Luongo, con cui abbiamo un bellissimo rapporto, per cui anche lì avremo le immagini e potremo commentarle. Aggiungiamo ancora qualcosa, Michele? O...
Diciamo che abbiamo fatto un bel sunto di tutto quello che è accaduto in questa meravigliosa gara e siamo sì tutti lì con la tensione addosso per vedere la prossima perché
Eh
con i
sì.
fratelli piloti che ci troviamo, ragazzi, qui sono fuochi e fiamme ad ogni curva e ad ogni giro, per cui attendiamo con trepidazione la
Le
prossima gara. Eh,
sportellate, quelle pulite, i passaggi, block
assolutamente,
pass,
sempre.
la velocità sulle whoops, il cercare di capire come sono messe e assettate le moto, che è difficile sempre dal divano commentare tutto questo. Noi ci proviamo con la grande esperienza di Michele, con la mia piccola esperienza, però con grande passione. Per cui noi ci vediamo settimana prossima, Michele, per commentare un'altra favolosa gara.
Bene, Adriano, grazie ancora e buon motocross a tutti.